Welcome. In this video, we will tell you 2 terrifying stories. I hope you enjoy watching. The first story, named One Guy, 2 Spoons. There are all kinds of shocking videos on the internet showing people doing sick, disgusting, and horrific things. For some reason, people watch the videos and then post their reactions on YouTube. Perhaps you've heard of some of the shock videos. They usually have weird titles, like 3 guys, 1 crowbar, 2 girls, 1 poop, and 1 man, 1 cactus. I've watched every one of them. But today, I watched one video that is more disturbing than all of the rest put together. The title of the video is One Guy, 2 Spoons. You're probably already wondering what it's about. But let me assure you, it's far more disgusting than anything you can think up. It shows a man using 2 spoons to pop out his eyeballs. Yes, that's right. He actually digs in behind his own eyeballs and pops them out of his head using the spoons. When I watched the video, I was so disturbed by it that I almost threw up. As sickening as the video was, I forced myself to watch it to the end. I wish I hadn't. Here's a good piece of advice for you. Be careful what you watch, because that which you see can never be unseen. When the video was over, I heard my mom calling me from downstairs, telling me that dinner was ready. I raced downstairs and took a seat at the kitchen table. My father was reading the newspaper. My mother was setting the table. That's odd, my father remarked. This article claims there's a new viral video going around on the internet. They say it's dangerous. Apparently, it causes anyone who sees it to go insane and try to pop out their own eyeballs. My father broke off and looked up. Oh my God, my mother screamed. Oh my God, what have you done? But it was already too late. I could feel the spoons in my hands, but I couldn't see a thing. The second story, named Residential Elevator. There was a young boy named Kenneth who lived with his parents. When his father got a new job in the city, the family moved into the top floor apartment of an old residential building. Every evening, when Kenneth came home from school, he had to take a long elevator ride to the 25th floor. After a few days, he began to get a horrible feeling. Whenever he stepped into the elevator, he couldn't quite explain why, but for some reason, he had the distinct impression that he was being watched. He also thought he could hear strange whispers and mutterings as the elevator ascended to the top floor. One evening, when he arrived home from school, he saw some other boys who lived in the same building. They were a few years older than him, and he noticed that they avoided the elevator altogether. He caught up with them as they walked up the stairs. When he asked the boys why they weren't taking the elevator, they told him about some rumors that had been circulating among the kids who lived in the building. Apparently, all of the other children who lived there thought that the elevator was haunted. They said they heard disturbing shrieks and moans coming from the elevator shaft. They also told him about a kid who had gone missing in the residential building only a few months before he and his parents moved in. Kenneth had a sinking feeling in his stomach as he listened to the story. The older boys told him. They said the kid had mysteriously disappeared, and nobody was able to find him. He was still listed as a missing person. The adults thought he must have been kidnapped, and the police were still investigating. But the kids suspected that It had something to do with the old elevator. That was why they avoided using it whenever possible. When Kenneth reached the top of the stairs, he ran into his apartment and breathlessly told his mother about the unsettling stories the older boys had shared with him. She just laughed and dismissed them as the typical rumors and legends that kids and teenagers always like to use to scare each other. His mother said that there was no such thing as a haunted elevator, and it was childish to believe such outlandish tales. Still, Kenneth couldn't help being terrified of the old elevator. He took to using the stairs as much as possible, even though it was a very long climb, and it left him tired and out of breath. The only time he would use the elevator was when his mother or father were with him. He figured that nothing would happen to him as long as one of his parents was there to protect him. One evening, Kenneth came home late after football practice. He was deathly tired and was really dreading having to climb the stairs. He walked into the lobby of the residential building and breathed a sigh of relief when he saw his mother standing there with her back to him, waiting for the elevator. The doors opened and she stepped inside. Kenneth jumped in after her. The elevator doors closed, and that's when he realized that the light wasn't working. They were in complete darkness. Kenneth broke out into a cold sweat. They started to go up in the darkness. The frightened boy heard an eerie, chuckling sound. "Mom, did you hear that?" he asked nervously. As the elevator ascended, the chuckling grew louder. It sounded like evil laughter. "That's the sound I told you about, Mom," he said, shaking with fear. A chill ran down his spine when he heard a deep voice reply, "You really believed I was your mother? Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye."